Mark, without further ado, from a senior detective to covert operations to global animal welfare advocate, what was the turning point that made you cross over into the cause?
It's interesting because for me, I never really saw it as a crossover. I've always been an animal lover. I've always been around animals since I was a child. And being a police officer is effectively about keeping the vulnerable in society safer. That's when you look at all different kinds of policing, that's what you're trying to do, is trying to keep people safe. And animals are the vulnerable in our society, and therefore I don't see the transition really in being a police officer into particularly caring after animals a huge leap. All we're doing is trying to keep those, the voiceless, the more vulnerable in society. We're trying to look after them and have some sympathy and empathy and make them safe, really, in our communities and our families and our relationships.
But Mark, you rightly said they are voiceless, and we need to have empathy and a bit of sympathy towards them even. That's the whole reason why this podcast came into being, because I have been going through a lot in terms of trying to protect them and, trying to create awareness so that people can have a bit more empathy towards these souls. Now,
yeah, I mean, not everybody is going to be a massive animal lover. I get that, but there's absolutely no reason to harm animals, and I think that we want to be able to, we don't want to harm anybody, do we? We want to live in a better society, and that has to be to understand that all living beings have a right to exist, and that those who have got a responsibility, a position to be able to do something about it, should do something about it. And then we can all be a little bit, it'd be lovely to be a little bit happier, a little bit nicer, a bit kinder world. Wouldn't that be lovely?
Isn't it? Absolutely. That's the whole purpose. I mean, you rightly mentioned, not everybody has to be an animal lover, but it also has to be, why harm why harm these souls? I mean, if you can't do any good, don't do any harm to them. That's what we're trying to just, send the message across to these people.
Yeah, and it's important that everybody understands it. I mean, it's one thing reaching people who have similar views to ours, but it's critical that we also reach beyond that, and we reach to those certainly those that actually don't see it. I mean, a lot of the campaigning work that I do, when I talk to people about it, a lot of them say, "Do you know, I never even thought about that." And to me, that's such an important moment, because people are actually starting to see the light. They're starting to see how this interrelates. You can continually talk to people who are in our situation, but you don't make a huge amount of progress. The biggest progress you make is reaching outside your circle and explaining to others, whether it's in a family unit, whether it's in your workplace, whether it's in your social circles, whether it's in your, you've got an opportunity to get into political circles or to local government or national government and say, hang on a minute, why don't we just consider animals? Because, we talk about protecting animals, protecting people. If we keep animals safe, there is a consequential impact on how people are kept safer. And that's a lot of what my campaigning work is about.
We're gonna get into more details as we move along.